If you've been following this channel, you'll know I've just moved into this condo in BGC here in Manila in the Philippines. And in my condo tour video I did a couple of weeks ago, I got so many comments asking how much this condo is costing me. And I've purposely held off because I wanted to make this video. I wanted to wait a while till I had a utility bill and I could fully understand my cost of living here. So let's break down my cost of living here in BGC in this video. Let me start by saying this up front. All the costs in this video are my costs, my decisions, my lifestyle, my preferences. I'm sharing this purely as a general guide and I hope you find this useful. This is my new condo here in BGC. A lot of you watched my first condo tour video and left comments, so I wanted to follow that up now that I've properly moved in. As you can see, I've started to add in my own touch, a proper workspace, some greenery and a few personal things that I pulled out of storage. I've also got a big IKEA delivery arriving this Monday, so this place still isn't quite finished yet. One of the main reasons I really wanted to stay in this building is the view. It's one of the only places in central Metro Manila where you can look out the window and actually see greenery, not just other buildings stacked on top of each other. Both the living room and the bedroom have floor-to-ceiling windows, and honestly, that alone makes it worth it for me. It's incredibly relaxing. The facilities here are also excellent. The swimming pool is huge and really well maintained. There's a billiards room and a gym as well. The lobby is massive and feels very luxurious, and there's a full security and maintenance team, all incredibly friendly Filipinos. This condo is 62 square meters. For comparison, my last long-term condo in Makati was just 24 square meters. I lived there for 7 months, and that experience really made me realize how important a comfortable living space is. That old place was a studio with zero storage. I literally had suitcases stacked in the corner of the room, and more recently, after bouncing between cheap hotels and small Airbnbs, it became even clearer just how much your living space affects your quality of life. I'm happy to say I've found one that really works for me. I've generally loved living here so far. I'll touch more on that later, but first let's talk about the costs. This condo was originally listed at 55,000 pesos per month. I offered 45,000 because Manila is very much a renter's market right now with lots of condos sitting empty. I viewed 8 different units in this building and this was the one I felt most comfortable in, even though a few others were slightly cheaper. The owner came back firm at 55,000 and I just decided to go for it. So that's what I'm paying. I'm paying 55,000 pesos per month for the next year for this condo. That works out at roughly $930 or 700 British pounds every month. That might sound a bit expensive at first, but let me explain why I personally think this is great value. Philippines offers 2 very different lifestyles, especially among expats. On one side, you have people living in rural province areas, surrounded by nature, incredible scenery, and what many people call the real Philippines. Costs can be extremely low, sometimes $300 a month for a large house. I completely understand the appeal, especially for families. On the other side, you have city living, for those of us who enjoy the buzz, dining options, nightlife, and convenience. As a relatively young single guy here, I still prefer city life. I love the convenience. Yes, traffic is terrible. I love being able to order Grab anytime, get food delivered, walk downstairs to the supermarket, and pretty much have everything I need within a minute's walk. I also love nightlife. I generally go out 4 nights a week on average, and Manila has some of the best nightlife I've ever experienced. Great venues, great energy, and a really interesting mix of locals and expats. BGC in particular feels incredibly safe. There are security guards everywhere, the streets are clean, very walkable, and packed with dining options. There are literally hundreds of restaurants within 5 to 10 minute walk of this condo. There's a reason BGC is often called the bubble. It's more polished, more modern, and more expensive than most of Metro Manila, and it's definitely not for everyone. For me, it's absolutely worth it. Interestingly, this rent is actually very similar to what I was paying for my last 2 flats in Scotland. When I compare the space, facilities, area, and the overall quality of life, this condo in Manila wins in almost every aspect. The only downside for me is the kitchen. It's small and there's no built-in oven or hob, but honestly, that's not a deal breaker for me. Overall, I'm really happy here and I've noticed a genuine improvement in my lifestyle, health, and happiness since moving from Makati. Let's break everything down properly. Rent is 55,000 pesos per month. That's again $930 or 700 British pounds. When you move into a condo in Manila, it's very common to pay 2 months deposit and 2 months rent up front. So I paid 220,000 pesos to move in, which is about $3,700 or 2,800 British pounds. Utilities, my first bill covered only part of the month and came to 2,400 pesos. Based on the usage so far, I'm expecting my full monthly utilities to land somewhere between 6,000 and 8,000 pesos. So I'm going to call it 7,000 pesos. That's about $120 or 90 British pounds. Lifestyle plays a huge role in your cost of living here. I only eat 2 meals a day, lunch and dinner. Because of my work and sleep schedule, I usually go to bed at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and wake up around about 12 midday or 1 p.m. I eat out or order food most of the time. I've cooked twice since moving in, partly because of the kitchen size. I estimate my average meal at around 750 pesos. That's roughly 1,500 pesos per day, or 25 US dollars, or 19 British pounds. Many meals are cheaper, around 500 pesos, but once you add drinks, tax, service charge, delivery, and occasional big nights out, 750 is realistic. That puts dining out at around about 45,000 pesos per month, 760 US dollars, or 570 British pounds. Groceries are minimal since I eat out so often, but I'll budget around about 15,000 pesos per month for groceries and household items. That's about $250 or 190 pounds. Nightlife is the one category I'm not going to put a figure on. I go out 4 or 5 nights a week and I spend a lot. Enough that if I shared the number, I'd get absolutely destroyed in the comments. So I'll just say this, you do you and you have your own habits. For context, a local beer in Makati is usually between 130 and 200 pesos, with 180 being the most common price. That's around 3 US dollars or £2.30. Yes, you can buy beer from 7-Eleven for 70 pesos, and yes, someone called me an idiot for not doing that, but I enjoy sitting in a bar and not drinking in the street, and will leave nightlife there. I also budget 10,000 pesos per month for everything else: Wi-Fi, Grab taxis, subscriptions, Lazada purchases, memberships, and random extras. That's around about 170 US dollars or 125 pounds. So excluding nightlife, my total monthly cost of living here in BGC comes to around 132,000 pesos per month. That's roughly $2,230 or 1,670 pounds. For comparison, my cost of living 2 years ago in the smaller condo in Makati was around about 68,000 pesos per month. So this is a big jump up. But for the larger condo, better facilities, and a much nicer area, it's absolutely worth it for me. There are people living much more cheaply in BGC, different buildings, smaller units, more disciplined lifestyles. There are also people spending significantly more. 2-bedroom units in some buildings go well into 6 figures. I really hope this video gave you a realistic picture. These are my costs, my choices, shared as a guide, not a rule book. Whatever you choose, I hope you absolutely enjoy your time here in the Philippines. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Maraming salamat at ingat po.